This is called the Superman safety position arm bar. It's done as a counter when your opponent is reaching up around your head from the bottom of side control. It doesn't make a lot of sense for him to do that if he knows what he's doing, but especially on the street or with people that don't know jiu-jitsu, they're gonna end up grabbing your head in all sorts of different ways. And if they're really, really strong, they can end up keeping you there and making life kind of difficult. So we're gonna learn how to use leverage to attack the arm if they do that. Just for a point of reference, we do end up in this position from our barrel roll takedown as a counter to the standing headlock. So we'll go ahead, start in the standing headlock. I'll barrel roll him all the way down and then into Superman safety position. We go from there. So Al grabs around my head. I've got my side clinch, reaching back for his wrist as he breaks me down. Roll through, and we end up in the Superman safety here. Now, if I just grab onto Al from here, let's put a little space for the left. So if I just hold on to him from here, he can like roll me through, okay? So the first thing I do once I get to this position is I bring my hands in front of his face, okay? Now from here, my knees are close to the back. I put one hand under the chin, one hand in front of the knees, and I open them up. Now I step over with my leg that's closest to his legs, and I bring my heel close to his hip. Let's turn a little bit more. So again, Al's holding on real tight here, right? I'm not able to break this grip. I keep my wrist on his neck, and my other hand comes inside the grip, and I put it on my own wrist. It's important to know that when I'm putting pressure on his neck, I'm using the sharp bone of my wrist on his neck and not this soft tissue underneath here or on top of here. So from the side to the side, we've got that bone blade that I'll be putting right into his neck here. Other hand goes on top of that. Now to break this grip, I don't want to try to do like a deadlift. I don't want to pull up because my posture is already broken, so my chin ends up folding into my chest. So I'm using the wrong muscles to try to break it. It's going to end up hurting my neck. What I want to do instead is just drive my head forward with the pressure of my wrist on his neck. So we're here. I'm setting up my frame, and I drive my head forward, which breaks the grip. Once the grip breaks, I slide my rear knee up towards the head. I reach back, grab his wrist, palm down. Other hand comes in front of the bicep, and I grab my own wrist here. So I've made my figure 4 lock. For safety's sake, I'll allow Al to get his hands together here, just so I don't fall back with a straightened out arm and end up breaking his arm when we're just drilling. So, with my figure 4 grip, I lean toward his hips, which will make my head side leg really light and easy to step over. But if I don't do that lean, I'll end up coming up onto my foot, creating way too much space, and he'll rip that elbow right through the bottom, and he'll be gone. So I've got my figure 4, he's got his hands together. I lean, and I can easily step over the head. Now my hand that's grabbing my wrist continues through. I meet him elbow to elbow, and I grab my own lapel. My hand that's on his wrist turns palm up. As I sit back, I pinch my knees together. To break the grip today, I take my foot that's across his belly, I put my heel on his bicep with my toes pointed outward. I leg press to break the grip, and once it breaks, I slide up from the wrist to control the thumb, pinch my knees together, lean back, and I finish the armbar. So we're in our Superman safety position. One hand in front of the face, one hand in front of the knee, open them up. I step over, bring my heel close. Now I can pull my hand out. put the sharp blade of your wrist on his neck. My other hand supports it. And I drive my head forward to break the grip. Slide your rear knee up, reach behind the head, grab his hand palm down, or his wrist. Now my other hand continues through. I grab my own wrist to make my figure 4. He grabs his hands together. I lean towards the hips, leg comes over the head. Now my hand that's on my wrist grabs my lapel, my hand grabbing his wrist, turns palm up. Sit back, use my foot that's across the belly to break the grip with my toes pointed out. Don't use your foot that's over the head, because now he can sit up into me. So I want to keep him on his back. Use that foot, break the grip. Now I slide from the wrist up to the thumb, pinch my knees together, and I finish my arm bar.